Hey there, superstars. Miss Cuthbert here. I'd like to share a story with you. It's called A Halloween Scare in California. It's written by Eric James, illustrated by Marina Le Ray. Ready? Prepare if you dare for a tale full of chills, a story of pure Californian thrills. A night filled with sights that are best left unseen. You ready? You sure? This was my Halloween. The werewolves howled loudly. The moon shone so bright. I stayed in my bedroom, the curtains shut tight. My heart started pounding. My knees felt so weak. But being a brave kid, I just had to peek. I pulled back the curtains, my mouth open wide. An army of monsters had gathered outside. They staggered and stumbled and lurched down the streets with bags full of cookies and candy corn treats. Emerging from sewers and houses and stores came creatures and critters with ravenous roars. The more came along from all over the state. They filled up the streets at a dizzying rate. What do you see coming out of the manhole in the street? From Bakersfield, Berkeley, and Monterey Park, the shadowy beasties emerged from the dark. They gathered together for one spooky night to seek out the living and give them a fright. The thunder clapped loudly with terrible booms. The witches dodged lightning and clung to their brooms. The two-headed doggies tried chasing their tails, and banshees let loose with their hideous wails. The vampires hung out on the streets in their gangs and grinned just to show off their pearly white fangs. The mummies moaned loudly and swayed side to side, while Frankenstein stomped about town with his bride. A dinosaur munched on the Hollywood sign. The ghost went to Napa and drank all the wine. The undead took coffin lids out of their graves and used them to surf on the gnarliest waves. A robot from Silicon Valley computed that humans were buggy and should be rebooted. Then something went wrong with his energy pack. He had to retreat, but he said, "I'll be back." The creepies were crawly, the crazies were crazed. The zombies from Fresno had eyes that were glazed. The ogres from LA were ugly as sin, with big, bulging noses and warts on their chin. The ghouls danced around, but were lacking in soul. The gargoyles could rock, and the headless could roll. Although the whole spectacle seemed to spell doom, I foolishly thought I'd be safe in my room. But then something happened that made my heart jump. From somewhere below me, I heard a big thump. I froze for a moment, as quiet as a mouse. Yes, I could hear noises from inside the house. I put on my slippers and pulled on my robe. I shook like a leaf, but I don't think it showed. Then, slowly but surely, I crept down the stairs, preparing myself for the biggest of scares. My hands trembled wildly. I opened the door. I still shudder now at the horrors I saw. The stereo spat out some hideous sounds as dozens of monsters jumped madly around. The sight was horrific. It made my skin crawl. These monsters were having their Halloween ball. And right in the middle, one monster loomed tall, the hairiest, scariest monster of all. He turned and he saw me. I fell to my knees. I'm not very tasty, so don't eat me, please. He beamed ear to ear and broke free from the huddle, ran over and gave me a big monster cuddle. At last, we found you, he said with a smile. From Glendale to Reddick, we've looked for a while. A prize? And for me? I replied with a grin. But what did I enter? And how did I win? You've won the first prize for the costume you're wearing. It even scares me. And I'm tip top at scaring. This isn't a costume. I'm just dressed as me. Exactly. The scariest thing you can be. A small human child with a cute button nose. Your teeth are so shiny. You've only got 10 toes. No hair on your face and no horns on your head. The whites of your eyes are not glowing or red. A bone-chilling costume. A horrible sight. A worthy ensemble for Halloween night. We partied together until the moon set, a Halloween night that I'll never regret. And next year, I won't want to hide in my bed. The monsters won't scare me. I'll scare them instead. I hope you enjoyed the story, guys. I hope to see you very soon. I'm trying very hard to get well so I can get back to you. Okay? Take it easy.